soon. We have just a little 7-gamer that we're trying to, figure out. We don't have all the lineups in yet. Oh, wait, we do. We don't have the Cubs yet. But I'll tell you sort of what I'm doing. I am much whatever the field is on Aaron Nola, I guarantee I'm going to be over it. I'm having a very hard time not playing Aaron Nola today, to tell you the truth. And it's not that there is some real concerns. It's just like, who do we feel great about? Nola, Snell. I actually think Abbott is the other pitcher I probably feel best about, and I'm also stacking against him in a lot of lineups. So it's kind of a weird slate. Braxton Garrett, I'll have some exposure to. I'll have a little bit of exposure to Myers. I'm a little nervous because I don't like playing these long relief guys because you never know when things could turn sideways, and that doesn't happen. I even have JP Sears in some lineups. I just don't feel great about the pitching on this slate, and when that happens, I try to play the guys I trust the most. Now you could argue, hey, what are you doing? You shouldn't be trusting those guys even. Oh, the other one I like a little bit is Oviedo, but I also like the A's. So that's the issue I'm dealing with right now. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get these lineups the way that I want them. And yeah, those are the pitchers that I'm rolling with. Sheets will be here soon, so I'll start saying a few of the things that I'm doing, and then I'm sure he can jump on in and tell us his thoughts when he gets in here. Sorry, I just realized I had one thing of a player who wasn't playing today, which obviously I always say is a bad sign. You don't really want to play the guys who aren't playing. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. But so basically, I'll go position by position, but the teams that I'm on the most I like both sides of the Cincy-Milwaukee game. I also think that the pitching in both those sides are interesting. That's the slate we've been given. Oakland-Pittsburgh, same thing. I think Philadelphia and Toronto, as far as full stacks, make a pretty good amount of sense. I like the Philadelphia lefties, and I mentioned it earlier because the weather, combined with the fact that they might be a little bit lower owned than the righties, because I do think they're going to be fairly chalky. But if you play, get Drew Ellis in there, have some lineups with Sosa, and I'm definitely going to play Bryson Stott in my other one because I do want to play the lefties in that matchup, and I'm just going to double check that the wind hasn't made any major changes. I don't believe it had last time. Yes, yeah. So it's still blowing in 9 miles an hour from left field. Doesn't mean it's impossible to hit it out by any means, and you are facing a lefty. But I like the idea of mostly sticking with the lefties from Philly, and they're going to be a little lower owned, especially when you get down to Bryson Stott in the 6 hole. I expect to be the lowest owned member of the Phillies today. So. Those are my stacks, and with that, I will make one quick change, and then I'm going to get into. I have to make 2 quick changes. Excuse me, and then we'll get into the situation with the other plays we like today. Anyway, sorry if I'm sort of fumbling around here. I'm just trying to get these. I have a build that really bothered me because I liked it, but now I don't. Anyway, Sheets is right here, but I'll just real quickly go through my ownerships, and then we'll jump into Sheets and stuff. That's okay with you, Sheets?
Ownerships, yeah. I got to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, I've got Contreras, Real Muto, and Perez as my main catchers with a little bit of.
Oh, I thought you want pitchers for a second. Oh, God, sorry.
I went through all the pitchers. The first base, Vlad Guerrero is my highest owned. Noda, Spencer Steer is my other 2. Second base, Owen Miller, Bryson Stott, Rodolfo Castro, and Nick Horner. Third base, Senzel, Drew Ellis, Arenado, Chapman. I actually think third base is really strong, and Jung. Shortstop, Monasterio, McLean, Bichette, and Swanson and Seager are my favorites. And then the outfield, Varsho, Brian Anderson, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Brian Reynolds, all the Oakland guys, and George Springer. And that's sort of my overall stuff. What are you doing today, Sheets?
I have no idea. So I'm just looking at it now.
Okay.
Let me start with the pitching, I guess, and then I'll do some builds. I mean, I don't know where you came in on it, but Aaron Abbott is still looking like, obviously the top point per dollar play. And depending on how I build, you're going to see where I'm using him. Then I see Nola as the best spend up, like better than Snell, and he's being owned in accordingly. Like I have like Nola at 50% ownership and Snell at like 39. I'm seeing Garrett with like 30. And it looks as though this is all pretty efficient. You have Oviedo at like 20. Guess that makes sense. I'll tell you where like the real, ownership value is. It's really uncomfortable, but bring Manoah maybe. He hasn't done anything. You know what I mean? The whole freaking season, which is makes it annoying. But listen, it's not so easy. You can't get a low-owned guy who's a stud. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. Who's in good form? It just doesn't work that way. So if I'm gonna go like low-owned, just for the sake of it, at pitching, it would probably be Manoah. But in the absence of that, it's going to be some combination of those guys I mentioned, Abbott, Nola, Snell, something like that. But it depends on where hitting goes. So let me just take a look at it real quick. Philly's the chalk, right?
Ish. Yeah, I don't think there's like a major one. You know what I mean? I think Philly is maybe you could say it's Philly, but like they're all pretty. All the San Diego, Philly, Toronto. I don't think they're going to be that big a difference ownership wise.
I'll tell you the two teams again based on my leverage scores, which again I've always threatened a year to put this out, and I can't figure it out when to do it and how. But my two favorites are actually, when you counter everything, are Texas and San Diego, and then actually Houston. Those would be the three best teams when you factor in both chances of winning and ownership. And then when you had values, let me just see. Oakland still rates really high. Then there's Pittsburgh, little Milwaukee, which is kind of funny and interesting. Did you think about like Houston? I haven't thought about Houston like all day. Do we like Houston at all today?
It's just weird if you mention like what are we doing with like. I have a little Manoah. No, I don't particularly love Houston, but they're always a good. I see them as being I don't see them as being a whole lot different than all these other teams.
Okay. No, I know, but
even ownership wise, I don't think they're going to be any lower owned or more owned.
Okay.
I just think that they're going to be similar to Toronto ownership wise, and I think that they're both viable. I just think I have to cut the cords somewhere. I like the idea of playing both sides of the Abbott situation. I'm going to have Abbott in a ton of lineups because I don't feel good about his pitching. But I'm also going to have Milwaukee as a stack in a reasonable number of lineups. Remember, bad bullpen behind them. The problem is you have Milwaukee guys who are going to sub out of the game without question, pretty much. That's always a little tough. But
I'll tell you what's annoying is that Laureano's not in, because he'd be somebody I'd want to play in that game.
Yeah. But they have, all their outfielders are totally legitimate. Brown, Reese, Rooker, those guys are all solid. I do like getting to some of the Oakland and some of the Pittsburgh bats. Oakland, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati, Milwaukee, maybe you use them as pieces, but I do like the hitters quite a bit in those situations. And I also think that, I think for full stacks, I'm a little higher on Toronto, Texas, and Philly as a 5-man. But I don't think you need a 5-man either tonight. And I think you could make some 4-3s or 4-4s, including some of these teams. And that's what my plan is to do anyway.
I'll tell you what I'm getting when I run SaberSim builds.
I'm surprised that you're not getting. I was so sure you were going to come on here and I was going to talk me into it, and I was going to play this thing that I was not going to do at all at the start today, which was to play Miami.
I didn't even think about that at all.
Okay, I thought maybe the numbers would tell you, because what is this? Uh-oh, this guy's getting blocked just for.
No, I'll tell you. Oh wait, is Bogarts out?
Bogarts, I believe, was not. Let me just double check the lineup. Yeah, he's out today. Odor's leading off, so it's a little weaker of a lineup.
So I have to redo this then. Hold on. So I do have to redo this because I was getting like the Cardinals.
I understand it. The problem is, like, again, Perez, we know he's good at not giving up the crazy games, but he does give up home runs, and these are a bunch of good righties who hit lefties well.
So Odor is leading off?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's try
the numbers are. Yeah. And for what it's worth, by the way, like, I don't know if people realize that, like, Odor actually hasn't been bad this year. Like, for fantasy purposes, he's sort of in the middle of a little bit of a hot streak.
Abbott's like 8K on FanDuel.
Yeah. what's weird is that with this slate, I still like that's what's so strange about the pitching is that I just don't think there's like a huge gap between like a lot of these things. And Nola, I have like 85% of and I have 50% of Abbott. You know, I'm totally cool with playing with just playing the guys who I feel like can get me over enough, you know?
Yeah.
And they are expensive stacks today. So unless you're going to play it with that's why I mentioned the Milwaukee and the Oakland, because if you did want to double spend up and play Nola and Snell, Milwaukee is one way you can do that. Oakland helps you do that with like Noda and Perez. So if you wanted to have have the spend up at pitching where you feel maybe the most comfortable, which is weird to say about Blake Snell and Aaron Nola right now, but that is what you do. And I have 2 big buy-ins on DraftKings, and I have Nola in both of them right now. Like I'm having a hard time getting away from it. If there's another one with the upside that I think maybe if I had to commit more like 50% to anybody other than Nola and Abbott, it actually wouldn't be Blake Snell. I think it would be Oviedo, even though I like the Oakland side. I like the Oakland bats a little bit. I just think that he's solid enough and he's going to get 15 to 20 enough of the time here where that's totally good with me.
And also Jake Fraley is out.
Fraley's out. Yeah. So, which is a little weird. I actually don't know what happened there. I don't know if he's hurt or something like that. But anyway.
Well, who's in for him? Who got the start for him instead?
Will Benson. It wasn't really like for him though. Like that's these teams don't play that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
The guys don't just play every day. I mean, I guess Fraley mostly does against righties, so it's a little weird. But
I'll tell you, these Texas guys look really good. They're expensive.
Yeah. Let me just see something with the Texas thing.
Yeah, it's funny. Let me just confirm this. I mean, I currently have just all the Nola as well, actually. I mean, this guy's got to be able to do it against Detroit, right? I mean, he's good against righties. You know what I mean? Like he's got to be able to do this, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think so.
Right.
I don't know what to say. We've certainly seen weirder things happen, but I don't know what we're supposed to do here. I mean, look, I like Kel to do as much as the next guy, but when he's batting third, probably means that no matter who the other pitcher is, you should have some interest.
Yeah, I believe so, right?
So, but yeah, nice little small slate. We'll have the big one tomorrow, big slate tomorrow, with it being Tuesday. And then we don't have the NBA again until Wednesday, I believe. Is that correct? Yeah. I think
is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks as though I'm going down with the New Orleans with the Nola.
Yeah. It is weird that maybe the Pittsburgh's run total. I actually like Pittsburgh a lot today, but I'm sort of surprised by their run total being as high as it is. Just given the fact that Sears hasn't been like terrible. Well, I say he hasn't been terrible. He hasn't given up more than 2 runs in 4 starts.
Right.
And at the same time, you do have the worst bullpen in recent baseball history in Oakland. And I like some of these. Pittsburgh rates out as a team that should hit lefties pretty well, and they do. I mean, between McCutchen, Joe, Reynolds, who's a switch anyway, but Castro has like a 340 ISO against lefties this year. I mean, that's pretty awesome. He also has like a 15% walk rate. Like there's just things there, you know. Really like that Castro. I want to put together all these guys who always bat 5 through 9 and just I don't know, sort of say, hey, look, why don't we move these guys around? There's the shortstop for Arizona who was like their best hitter for a while, batting 9th, and we have the Weimer from Milwaukee who's always batting 8th or 9th. These guys have actually hit the ball. Like I don't know, it feels like they're way back there. All right. Guys, pop in any questions or thoughts. For what it's worth, I'm kind of I am doing the Cubs thing in a couple of my in my $88 and other stuff. I do think that the Cubs are like the get weird, stack that could win it all.
I think it's a great play, by the way.
I like that one. Yeah. I mean, they should have like zero ownership, I think.
Yeah.
Small slate. We always like to when Snell pitches, the slates to attack him on are these small ones because you get no ownership, and we just know he blows up like 35% of the time. Well, at least he has the ability to blow up. Like he'll walk like 5 guys in 2 innings like 30% of the time.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, he's actually been a little bit better for what it's worth, but still.
Yeah, I like my MME stuff. I don't like my big buy-in. I gotta figure out what I want to do here.
Oh, I guess Mike Carr is saying Fraley is out with allergies, which I would make fun of, but I've had serious allergy attacks before, and I don't know how you could hit a baseball.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I don't know what I even understand the spasms, but I don't know if I've ever seen a golfer 2 shots away from the lead just withdraw like Morikawa did the other day. That was a weird one. That really bothered me too, because he was in all of my 6 of 6s. All right. Anything else, guys? Fire it on in. Questions, ideas, thoughts. What are you guys doing? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Anything?
He's a righty. Yeah, I'm really gonna play St. Louis, huh? That's the story.
Maybe,
right?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I have my St. Louis guys more like as one-offs, like Arenado, Goldschmidt. That's most of it for me. Right. I didn't go as heavy. I mean, look, it's not that I don't like these other teams as much, but you can't just play everybody. You have to make some decisions, and you have weird situations with them. Like they've got this prospect kid, the Baker kid, up, but he's 2K at first base, batting 5th. But like, if you're going to make a stack of them, don't you kind of want to play Goldschmidt against Perez? Isn't that partly what you're trying to do?
I think so. Abbott, Nola, Phillies, Cubs. Then I can play whatever I want. Boy, all these righties for the freaking Cubs. So tempting, dude.
I know. I'm doing it. I'm going to do a little bit of it.
It is so tempting.
I'm going to answer Jolly's question real quick, though, too, about Mayers. I don't know what to do with these things. Like, if there was a slate to do it, this is the right slate to do it. You're going to get low ownership on somebody. I'm just saying you might get a 0. He may not pitch. We've seen it happen so many times this year. I get the feeling that this is one of those times where we can feel a little bit more okay with it. But I don't even feel comfortable saying that out loud. Like, it's just – I do think this is the kind of slate where you can play him. Yeah.
Arenado, Rel, and Texas. You can play. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing in the big buy. I'm perfectly content with the Nola, like just overloading it with Nola. Getting some KC, some Milwaukee. That's a little leverage, I guess.
Appreciate that from Katie. Where you're saying the true DFS is the truth. You guys are hearing what we're doing. I think we're going to talk through it. Sheets is what happens. Sheets comes in and says, "I don't know what I'm doing." Talks himself into something, wins a tournament, and that's what happens. That's what he did yesterday. Well, I don't know. He didn't come on air yesterday and do it, but
no, I just kind of like randomly won something. Bobby Witt, he's so expensive. I really want to be messing with Braxton Garrett. Prado leading off. But it's a lefty. Milwaukee makes sense. I don't have any. You know what I don't have any of? After all my yapping, I don't have any Cincinnati. That's what I don't have any of.
I like the Cincinnati a little bit today. I mean, I've got a lot of pieces of Cincinnati. I've got like 25% Steer. I've got 15% Stevenson. I've got 35% Senzel.
That's a lot.
25% McLean. It's weird because like I want to play them, and I'm like, who am I actually that into? Like it's kind of like the most Senzel, yeah. Senzel, Steer, India, even McLean, I guess. Like Newman, sure. Oh, so they did move Newman back to first after they scratched Fraley. Huh. Okay, so Newman is going to be really popular again.
Yeah, but he's not that good. I mean,
no. But it's more just like I just wanted to point it out that I'm not playing him because I thought he was going to be popular. Then when he was batting seventh, I was like, I can kind of include him in a stack, but now I don't even want to.
Yeah, interesting again is that getting more lineups with no stacks or no 5-man, I should say, than I usually do. Milwaukee, St. Louis, Kansas City, Toronto, and all the NOLA. That's the story. That's what's going to be the deal. And I'm going to attack this Abbott character. Is that the? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on both sides of this. You know what I mean? I got.
Yeah, exactly. That's what everything is. I couldn't get around it today. I'm same exact as you.
I got a little Manoa here, but not much. Oh, actually, a decent amount. I got 20% of Manoa. I got as much Manoa as Abbott right now, which is interesting, I suppose. I have this feeling that what's going to win is either like the again like old school versus new school, whatever. I think it's either going to be like a lineup with both Nola and Snell, or one with neither of them. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to happen. Okay. Let me take a look at this. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, Wednesday. There's no NBA till Wednesday. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I don't think so. It's not till Wednesday.
Yeah, I was. Oh, yeah, I hit that. I was good on that game. My game 2 thing from yesterday. Betting like the road team in game 2 in those series. Miami came up pretty big. I didn't even like him in money line, but I just wanted him in the.
You nailed it. Yeah, you had completely nailed that one.
Yeah.
You could have. It felt like the kind of game where you might have, like, if you were into the live betting and all that, you might have made some real money because they were up by a bunch. Then it looked like they were just going to get crushed.
Oh.
And then you could just. It would have been just a really fun live betting game each way the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miami is a good park for pitching. Which players would we recommend from Milwaukee? So that's the problem with these stacks. Like that, you don't love the bats. Monasterio is a very good value option at 2.3K. Contreras hits lefties really well and batting third. Brian Anderson is fine. Joey Weimer I like a little bit. Tellez doesn't hit lefties hardly at all. But again, if they get to Abbott, he could be a part of it or something. So those are sort of the main ones. Luis Urias I like. He's hit lefties well in his past. What's up to my man MJ? MJ, for the first time, he comes on our show. He says the other day, I've never played baseball before. Tonight's the first night. And then he goes ahead and wins the freaking lottery.
What?
Yeah, MJ did it. MJ Vandy.
Let's go.
Yeah, he did it like on Wednesday last week or Thursday maybe.
St. Louis, a couple of Toronto characters. Has Wood Merrifield done anything recently? Probably not, right? Nola, Abbott. This Cubs thing is so tempting, dude. I can't even tell you how tempting this is. Oh, so the lineup is out. Okay, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it's out now. And it's pretty much what you want to see, I think. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
it is,
The
right?
one thing you'd like to see is you'd like to see Morel batting a little higher than ninth. Another one of those great example of my number 9.
Morel's hitting ninth.
That's what they do with him. He bats ninth most of the time. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. And it's bizarre. It's like a lefty. Like they were batting him ninth and then lead off because he hit 8 home runs in 10 games when he first came up, and then they moved him back to ninth when he didn't hit a home run. So okay, it's a lot to put on somebody.
That's pretty funny.
50K. Yeah, let's go, MJ. That was huge. That was quite impressive.
Texas. Some combination of the Cubs, St. Louis. Could always swap off the Cubs if I change my mind. Who's Jay Walker? No. Yeah, I'm not playing Morel at 5,100 hitting ninth.
I probably am going to throw him in just because.
Are you? Just on
he's only 1% owned, and he goes out and hits 2 home runs. It's just like, I don't know. Okay, I'll take a shot. Why not?
Yeah, maybe. Who do you like better? Who do you like better between Rooker and Ruiz? It's the fill-in.
So Rooker has more power, and Ruiz is going to steal more often. Just a matter of sort of like I guess if I was playing like 3 or 4 of them, it would rather be like that's how I have it. Like I put Rooker in more of my one-off category than I do Ruiz, but I have Ruiz as more of if I'm playing multiple A's.
Boy, this is like such like a non-Sheets lineup though. This is my current big one is currently like a 4-3-1. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. You gotta tell me that's okay.
Wait, say that one more time.
This is like such a non-Sheets lineup. My big one, I'm currently like a 4-3-1.
That's totally good. It's totally fine. Are you kidding me? I'd be excited if I saw that.
Okay.
I don't know if I've got 1-5-5-2-1 and I've got a 4-3-1. So I can't tell you that's wrong.
Yeah. Chicago. St. Louis. All the outfielders for St. Louis suck. I can't do the Morel. You could play Garrett. Can't play Snow. You play. Dude, I'm currently into this Cubs thing.
I love that idea. I'm gonna get a tiny bit more of it when I get out of here in about 5 minutes.
The Abbott thing feels like a lemon, but I think I'm gonna do it anyway. Mancini is 2,200.
I know. He doesn't ever hit, but maybe, like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe tonight.
He hasn't had a hit in a long time, right?
I don't even know what he's done lately, but it is so interesting. I mean, this year, he's got 1 home run off of a lefty this year. It's not ideal. Yeah, oh my God. He hit a home run his last game, so he's a lock.
I'm back to this 4-3-1 now.
Nothing wrong with it. I don't know. Don't be such a stickler on it. It's a 7-gamer. It's not like a 15-gamer.
All right, we're in.
I told you the guy who beat me when I finished 4th that time.
I'm going to tell you right now. Okay.
He had no 2 players.
Currently, I need the Cubs and the Cardinals. That's currently what I need. That's currently where I'm at, and with Nola and Abbott. That's my big buy-in. Plus one off, who I've mentioned in this show. A totally random one off.
Who was it?
I can't give the whole lineup.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Yeah. So I have Cubs and Cardinals and one random one-off.
Cubs card. I love the Cubs thing. We really made some headway on this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get some more Cubs now, just so I can try and when Sheets wins the big one, I want to come in with something that I can win.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm probably gonna get out of here and finish my builds real quick because I've got.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here as well.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you my ownerships now. I have 90% Austin Nola, Aaron Nola. I have 50% Blake Snell. This is very, 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 very off the beaten path. Right? Then I have 20% Andrew Abbott, and I have 20% Alek Manoah, 10% Braxton Garrett, 8% Johan Oviedo, 2%, aka the winner, JP Sears.
Yeah.
And then as far as stacks go, my highest owned stack, of course, seeing as I have 20% Abbott, my highest owned stack is Milwaukee. And then my next highest owned are the Cardinals. And after that is KC and Toronto. But I have the Cubs in the big one. So I have 0 Cubs in anything except the big one.
What percentage of Nola did you end up with?
90.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, I'm just gonna live with it.
Yeah. So there we go.
All right. Well, good luck, Sheets. Good luck, everybody. Thanks for hanging in there with us, guys. Please hit the like button before we get out of here so we can keep doing these things for free.
Yep.
And let's make some money tonight.